Kevin Harvick opposite Elliott Sadler there. Harvick is the 7th place car while Sadler is 1 lap down.
And how he got a lap down, Elliott Sadler, a lot like the car behind him, Kurt Busch in the 2 on that first round of green flag pit stops back in the lap 60 to 70 range. Elliott Sadler speeding on pit road, had to do a drive-through penalty.
I was worried about these guys getting on pit road. All their problems has been on pit road.
Scott Riggs continues to impress. He's been in the top 10 all day long.
He has. And not listen. The crew, the pit crew, they come in, they go out. They come in running 5th, 6th, 7th where they've been, and they go right back out in that same spot. So when the car runs good, the crew runs good.
DW, one thing I found out interesting this morning when I went down to the garage here to talk to Booty Barker was the fact that he was approaching today a little different than what they did a week ago. He said, Jeff, last week we had too much right rear spring, and we've talked about this during practice, how you got more right rear spring than you've got right front spring, which is just kind of contrary to what old school racing we grew up doing. He said today they softened their right rear spring about 200 pounds compared to a lot of other people that were racing here. And looks so far like that has been the great saving grace for the 66 car, because he's been up in the top 10 all day long. And he says one other thing, Darrell, he said, I love my driver. We're on the same page, and it's paying off so far today.
Yeah, well, that right rear spring, these cars are turning off of the right rear. Our cars, we always turn them off the right front. We made that right front dig and turn. These guys do it off the right rear. They kind of swing it around the corner.
Now Carl Edwards is 1 spot behind Riggs. He is now, Dick, 7.7 seconds off the lead and trying to come back.
Yeah, and the good news, Mike, is that Carl Edwards' lap times are at this point as good as, if not better than, the leader. His crew chief, Bob Osborne, keeps telling him as he approaches cars, if he's approaching a lap car or a car that's for position. And right now, car number 66, Riggs, is the one that he is looking to pass to obtain the 8th position. All this is a struggle trying to recover from an errant tire loose on pit road that put him all the way back to 17th.
One thing I keep watching these cars. You think about our old car last year, Larry. When you get side by side, it was almost inevitable that you're going to suck the guy on the inside around.
Right.
This car does not appear to have that kind of a problem. They've been running side by side.
Trouble, backstretch.
Whoa, trouble. Round he goes.
Carpentier.
Oh, gosh.
Hang on to it, buddy.
Caution will fly here at lap 161.
Now, he did not start that incident.
The guy moved up on me.
Yeah, the car in front of him.
That's all right. That's all right. Just take it to the garage, guys. Just take it to the garage and get it fixed up. If we're leaking oil or something.
I'm not sure who was just in front of Patrick, who's making his first start of the season in the Sprint Cup Series, but somebody came off turn 2, squeezed him right up in front of him in the wall, and I believe we're going to see if that was David Reagan and who was in front of the 6 of Reagan. There's Newman, Reagan, and watch the 10.
Oh, Ryan Newman.
Ryan Newman, yeah, David Reagan absolutely did nothing wrong on the 6.
Newman just didn't give him enough room. You can look at it either way. Maybe Patrick should have backed off a little bit, or maybe Ryan should have, given him a little bit more room.
Definitely could have been a little more give and take.
I think just that was a big deal right there. Somebody they didn't work very well together.
They will take the 10 car to the garage.
You can just see there, I think 2 things. If I'd have been in the 10 car, I'd have lifted a little bit. But he had a run on him. Figured, what the heck.
So he will join Robbie Gordon, Tony Stewart in the garage area. We need to mention Sam Hornish Jr. in the 77s actually back out on the racetrack.
But just barely.
Barely.
They patched her up.
And the free pass will go to Casey Kane.
There you go.
Number 9.
I believe that's going to be a good thing for him. Get back up there in that lead lap.
Darrell, we see how much track position is so important. We only have about 12 laps on the tires. I believe we'll see some 2-tire stops here.
These guys don't have as many tires, though. They only have 8 sets.
Steve Burns.
You'll see just a 2-tire stop on that 8 car. When the caution came out, Mark Martin said, my car was just getting good. But again, just right sides for Mark. Dick.
Greg Biffle is also going to take just 2 tires on the outside. He also called for a minor chassis adjustment. Engineers not making the decisions. The driver is, Krista.
The call is also for just 2 tires for the leader. Matt Kenseth, the 17, going with right sides only. Matt.
pressure change on the previous stop. No chassis adjustment. They wave that off, and they're going to wave off going for 4 here. No debate. 2 tires for Kyle Busch. The fuel's in. A little stumble as he lets the clutch out.
I just think everyone's seeing how important that track position is. And you know what? We're getting in the closing stages of this race.
Whoa, little slip and fall on Greg Biffle's pit stop there.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Racing on Fox is sponsored by Napa Auto Parts. Napa, get the good stuff. By Enterprise Rent-A-Car, we'll pick you up. By the Ultimate Recipe Showdown menu at TGI Fridays. Give me more Fridays. And by Allstate. Are you in good hands?
Getting set for the restart, Brian Vickers and Denny Hamlin in front of race leader Jeff Gordon. Hamlin did stop, but it was a quickie yellow, which meant that everybody could stop the first lap that the pits were open. And Hamlin beat the race leaders off pit road. He wants to get back on the lead lap.
Well,
3 wide.
It's a great gamble, Mike, because right now is when there's the best odds of having another caution real quick.
Now, Paul Menard in that 15 car, he's on the tail of the lead lap as well. He would love to see a caution right now. He would be back on it.
Well, now's when you drive it like you stole it. If you can get up there and stay there and have a quick caution.
Elliott Sadler, too, just ahead of race leader Jeff Gordon, and trying to stay there in case the yellow flag waves again. You want to see the caution, you don't want to be the caution.
We got a side-by-side battle for second place, though, between those Roush Fenway cars. Matt Kenseth in the 17, Greg Biffle in the 16. They're going to split Elliott Sadler down the back straightaway in the 19 car. Bread and butter.
Boy, they're tight right there at that first little group there. 24 car, the 83, and the 15. They are all over each
other. Jeff Gordon is the race leader. And then number 24 trying to move through and pin these cars 1 lap down.
We have seen it.
Somebody got, is that the
That's Biffle.
Biffle.
Greg Biffle in the 16
car. He got loose off of 2 over there, made some contact, I believe. Boy, it's a bad time for that to happen.
Carl Edwards may get past him here.
Yeah, he lost a lot of momentum with that little swerve he did down the back. Let's see what happens here. They get real congested.
Biffle inside of Menard, the 15.
Just pulled the car around.
Just got a little bit loose.
Yep. Had that thing pinched down off of 2.
Yeah, real tight.
Trying to stay off of Menard.
A lot of wheel snapped on him.
He was running second. You'll see it here again. There was no contact.
No. It's just when you're under somebody, you got a lot of wheel turned into it to stay off that guy on the outside. Sometimes they'll snap like that.
But I just believe if that's our old race car with just that little bitty rear spoiler, we're under caution.
He's out of here.
Jeff Gordon has now cleared the lap traffic. He's out in front by himself. And Kyle Busch, coming off turn 4 the last lap, caught himself a little piece of the wall, just enough to scrape a little paint.
This car really seems to perform well when you can get out front like Jeff is. We've seen everybody. Kenseth, we saw Carl. You get her out there, you drive off and leave everybody else.
Greg Biffle went from 2nd to 7th. Now he's tucked in behind his teammate Carl Edwards in the 99.
Jeremy Mayfield in trouble.
Jeremy was still on the lead lap in 19th position. No caution, though.
Got a right. Is that a right front?
Yeah, looks like, Darrell.
I think a right front's flapping over there. Looks like.
Yeah, hit the wall, did you? Saw my flash spot the hell out of my tires there.
Sure did. That's too bad because Mayfield has been a top 15 car all day. Let's look at it from Jimmy Johnson's viewpoint.
Spin in front of you. Stay down, stay down, stay down.
I think that was Regan Smith that might have got into Mayfield.
Boy, watch Dig. Little digger. Keep her low.
Jeremy stays out on the racetrack. He's still on the lead lap. As I mentioned, back in 19th, we've got 20 cars on the lead lap with Denny Hamlin in the 11 out front of our leader, Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, that's a shame for Jeremy. Having a great run. And you know what? Can't believe he didn't hit the wall.
No. .173 laps complete this time. Jeff Gordon has now led 12. That's 2 times for a total of 12 laps. You're watching NASCAR on Fox.
I feel the need for speed. More NASCAR on Fox.